Grace and peace. What's happening, fam? This is Pastor Sherrod, and listen, I am here in the church office preparing, reviewing the word for tomorrow to share with God's people. And I'm just sitting here in the office, and I'm so blessed to have this chance that God would trust me with, right? To minister his word to his people. And so, as I'm sitting here preparing the word, we're in a series at the church and we're preaching a message series known as The Journey, just simply The Journey. And we're going through different aspects of our life's journeys and preaching what God is sharing for this tribe, for this group and this hub. We're sharing the message that God has assigned for us to share with the people. But he's teaching us this journey. We understand a journey. It has its ups, it has its downs. There's many things that happen. There's many roads, many terrains, things that you experience on the journey. And so we are talking through that with individuals just to help and to prepare and to remind us about that. Because as we're getting to that destination that God has called us to get to, there are going to be different things that happen along the way. There are going to be sometimes there are going to be obstacles. There's going to be challenges. Sometimes it's going to rain. Sometimes it's going to have different things that happen along the way on your road to wherever God is taking you and journeying with you. But all that happens, but it reminds me the importance to know that God is with you. I think that is overlooked at times because we can get so engraft or so inundated with our struggle, our situation, or whatever we're going through that we figure that we're on our own. But I just want to just remind somebody, encourage somebody that God is with you and he is with you along the way and not to get discouraged. Listen, as I'm here in our ministry, we just completed 1 year, a 1 year in the campus here in Metro Atlanta, Embassy of Metro Atlanta. We're south of Atlanta. And so we're here, finished 1 year, and it has been what many would describe as a journey, right? When you launch a ministry, everybody doesn't launch the same, right? Everyone doesn't have the same experience depending on many factors. But I'm encouraged because God has reminded me to stay within the assignment that he's called me to minister through, right? That assignment, do the thing that he called me to do, and not to be distracted with someone else's journey, not to be distracted with someone else's thing that they're doing. Those things are beneficial. And along the way, God will give you some things to pay attention to, but making sure that you stay in your own lane, right? And walk out your own journey that God has called you to do. There's reason for that. There's a purpose for that because God has called you to a significant group of people. And so oftentimes have to remind even myself, right, of that type of journey because it's so easy to get distracted. And the journey for one is not always the journey for others, but as long as we're doing what God has called us to do, we know that many times as we're walking through this life, the goal is obviously to progress. The goal is to obviously have movement. The goal is obviously to move in the direction that God has called you. And as long as you're doing those things and you're on assignment, you're on will, God is there with you. And then God is with you. You have the relationship with you. He's there every step of the way. You're in good company as long as the Holy Spirit is there to guide you and you feel the Father's presence every step along the way. And I'm so encouraged because even God gives us that in the scriptures. He reminds us that don't despise these small beginnings, right? For the Lord rejoices to see the beginning, right? And that is in Zechariah 4:10, just reminds us of that. Everything has to start somewhere. And so, as you can see, this ministry has just started. There are things that God is showing us along the way. This last year was a lot of things that we saw. We saw a lot of things change, things move, things that we thought would be here moved over there, right? People that we needed what we thought we needed at a certain juncture, things may have changed for them. And so when you're walking through this type of journey that many people don't talk about, all they see is pastors getting up and doing the sermons and preaching these messages, but sometimes they don't know the behind the scenes, behind the grind, behind the pulpit of what actually happens, right? And so I just felt compelled to start to document this journey, right? I feel inspired by God to share this part. As long as the Holy Spirit allows me, I believe I'm going to share this journey along the way with you, so that you can see. Maybe it's for you, maybe it's for someone else who is a young minister, pastor, or maybe you're a older pastor that's starting a ministry just like I am. There's different aspects, and maybe this is something that you can relate to. Maybe it's something that can encourage you. And so we're going to document this journey. I used to spend a lot of time focusing in my podcast specifically about just the grind in general, behind the grind. But God just reminded me real easily that this pastoral journey, in the natural, there is some elements of it that is a grind. But when you're able to tap into the spirit and see what God is fueling you with, his spirit, and he's giving you his love and his passion to feed his people, that he allows that grind to be a lot more easy. He allows that grind to flow. And at times it don't feel easy. Let's just be real. Over just the 1 year period of pastoring, there were moments where things didn't feel easy. It felt like a true grind. And there's questioning that happens in the natural when you see those things. But knowing that if you keep moving forward and you keep progressing, and knowing that God is a part of perfecting us, though we have not arrived, right? Though we're evolving as we're growing on this journey, God is giving us what we need for the journey. And so I want you to be encouraged. I don't know, you may not even be on a ministerial journey in what you may believe, although I believe all of us have an assignment and a purpose. But you may not be on this, what we call a pastoral or ministerial journey or grind per se. But I want you to be encouraged. I want you to utilize maybe what you hear here, that it all takes faith. It takes faith for us to move forward. And so this faith and obedience along the way is very vital to our journey. And the goal is to reach the destinations along the way that God has called us to reach. And so I want you to be encouraged. Again, I am here in the office, like I said, preparing, just to give you just a little context of it. This is the church office that we use. The things that you see here are pretty much the things that we use as storage, because a lot of these things, being a mobile church, are used when we set up the service on Sundays. And so we're thankful. We're grateful for this opportunity to have a space, and that facility owners have allowed us to use this space for worship, right? A lot of facilities don't allow you to do that. They allowed us to do that. This is our office that we use. And God has granted us this to be a space to draw his people to. And again, tomorrow we're ministering this sermon series, The Journey. If you are anywhere near South Atlanta, we're in Henry County, McDonough, Georgia, to be exact. If you're anywhere near there, if you're in Jonesboro, or if you're in Covington, wherever you may reside, Decatur, if you can get here, we want to encourage you to come and join this journey with us, to build with us. God is still setting the stage for what this ministry will do. But if you feel any part of this vision and you want to be a part of this vision, we encourage you to join us. If you're curious about this ministry, just want to stop by and see us. Again, we meet every Sunday at 12:30 at Building 140 in the city of McDonough, Georgia. Just simply look up Building 140. It's a co-working space, but God has allowed us to use this on Sunday to minister his word, to share his word. And so if you are anywhere near and can get to this space, we want to encourage you to come and join us every Sunday. Again, every Sunday at 12:30. Well, hope to see you. Hope to be a part of whatever you have. Hopefully this message resonates with you. Hopefully you want to see us in this journey, document this journey. And if that is you, please follow this page, right? Follow us along the way, but also send this to anyone you know that is a part of the journey. Until then, listen, we are Embassy Metro Atlanta. I am Pastor Sherrod, and I look forward to seeing you soon.